Hello, this is Alexei from BhairavYogaMovement.com, and today I'm coming to you from my living room, and we're going to talk about a wonderful little yoga pose called Downward Facing Dog. Downward Facing Dog, aka Adho Mukha Svanasana, is just one of those postures that will be practiced by everyone, everywhere, regardless of the style of yoga that they train in. Adho Mukha Svanasana is an evolution or a degradation of another classic yoga pose called Parvatasana or mountain pose. If you ever look at somebody performing downward facing dog from the side, he or she will look like a mountain. The difference between the two postures is that in the classic version, you would have your heels together, feet apart, whereas in today's version of the pose, you are instructed to place your feet hip width apart, which then makes it harder for you to apply something called Mula Bandha or the root lock. The reason Parvatasana became downward facing dog is because people of today are larger, less flexible, and less mobile. We spend a lot of time seated, and therefore it is harder for us to physically bring the heels together. Otherwise, the postures are pretty much identical. They open up the shoulders, they stretch the lats, they stretch the back of your legs, and improve ankle flexibility. There is a number of scenarios where you would come to a downward facing dog position. Number one, if you're a beginner trying to figure out what the hell this pose does to you in the first place, you're welcome to hold this pose for as many breaths or as many sets as you would like. Number two, and this is more specific to the flowy yogas, the Ashtanga yoga tradition and everything that comes out of it, you generally see downward facing dog held for 5 breaths as we warm up in our Sun Salutation A and Sun Salutation B. Number three, you would come to downward facing dog at some point within your transitions, also known as vinyasas. We do them to keep the body warm and to reset the spine between the postures of the basic, intermediate, and advanced series within the Ashtanga yoga system. I don't know why the hell it's so hard for me to talk to a camera. 3 cameras at that. You would see downward facing dog focus. Downward facing dog can be a resting position where you catch your breath, try and return to the aerobic threshold if the poses prior to that were somewhat challenging. For example, you've done a series of standing postures on one side, you've done the same exact series of standing postures on the other side, and then you come down into a downward facing dog to A, catch your breath, B, reset your mental focus, get ready for either jumping through to sit or, I don't know, doing something else. Onto the posture itself. Like I said before, hi Ozzy. Go away. I'm making a video, boy. Go away. That's it, go. Distraction. Onto the posture. Like I said before, Adho Mukha Svanasana is a mountain shape, or to be more specific, a pyramid shape that you would put yourself into. Main cues or main instructions I like to give is equal weight distribution between hands and feet, chin to the chest, shoulders up and away from the ears. Maybe, this one is optional, bounce your chest to the toes a few times, and most certainly heels to the floor. The very basic way of getting into it, if you're a beginner and you're using it as a standalone posture, come onto your hands and knees, tuck your toes under, take a deep breath in through the nose, then as you exhale, the knees come up, straighten the legs out. See, the way we measure is, we start off shoulders above wrists, hips above knees. You take a deep breath in, toes are tucked under, and we press back and hold the position. So to recap, chin to the chest, shoulders away from the ears, maybe bounce your chest to the toes a few times, heels to the floor. Very straightforward. You'll feel a stretch in the back of the legs, right? You'll feel your spine straightening out. Make sure you are breathing. When you inhale, tummy expands. When you exhale, tummy pushes the air out. And for sure, work on bringing the heels to the floor. Now, you don't want your feet to be too far apart, especially if you lack flexibility in the ankles. Your heels will be too high. If your heels are quite high, walk your feet in and then bring them down a little bit lower. One thing I see a lot of people do is in their downward facing dog, they round their upper back. And that's generally due to lack of mobility in the shoulders and a lot of tightness in the lats. Be patient. The more time you spend in the position, the straighter your spine will become. I've heard some teachers out there say anterior tilt in the pelvis to have a greater stretch in hamstrings. This is a valid cue, but it's more specific to the people who need to stretch the back of their legs more. If you don't, right, keep the equilibrium. To come out of the posture, again, number of ways of doing it. Either just place your knees to the floor and kneel, or from a downward facing dog, we can simply walk our feet forward and stand up. Very short little video. Comment down below with stuff that you'd like me to cover, be it from the yoga world or from the kettlebell world. I will talk more on yogic philosophy. I will talk more on Vaishnav teachings in the future. I will try and cover certain things from Bhagavad Gita and various spiritual ideas that we need to try and implement into our lives as human beings, as yogis, as practitioners of this sacred science. Might even give a few tips on nutrition. Who knows? Click like, subscribe, share my videos if you like them. Bring more people into the channel. Guys, thank you very much. My name is Alexi, BhairavaYogaMovement.com. Peace.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.